First things first. Today we're talking about a game called Battlefield 5. It's an interesting title, a controversial, broken, realistic, inaccurate, great fun game. And I love it. And I also absolutely hate it. I've always been a fan of the Battlefield franchise. I've been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2, and not Bad Company 2, but Battlefield 2. Battlefield 2 is this old ass game that I would go like 2 and 26 kill death ratio in because I was basically a baby behind the keyboard. Ever since Battlefield 2, it seems like every Battlefield gets better and better with each one, not only just because of graphics, but they also bring a new innovation to the table. The first Battlefield introduced me to like this giant scale battle with tanks, planes, helicopters, boats, and then Bad Company comes out, and that shows me what destructive environments can be like, and also a great story. And then there was the game changer of not just the franchise, but every war game up to this time, and that was Battlefield 3.
I said get down on the ground!
This game was so impressive. A new DICE engine to push the graphics, brutal combat, there was a great story, and multiplayer that can outlast a decade. You felt like a real Marine traveling towards the enemy in an empty, vast desert, breaching doors into an unidentified building, hand-to-hand combat, fighting for your life, flying around in F-16s. The game just leveled the playing field and set a new standard for first-person shooters. Then Battlefield 4 came out, kind of doubling down on its modern shooter approach, definitely pushing the graphics even further with next-gen optimization, new maps, and a seemingly endless amount of leveling up and new unlocks to get. And then, after a few years, it seems like out of nowhere, boom, Battlefield 1 drops its trailer. We go nuts. I personally never played a World War I game, especially something that's AAA. It was so cool to hear that DICE was going to be able to let us experience what it was like to be a soldier in 1915. It comes out, great reception overall. A lot of people liked it, and actually was the most selling Battlefield game at the time with 25 million copies sold in the first year. Sure, parts of it were a little clunky, but the gameplay was incredibly fun and it was immersive as hell. You know, when Battlefield 1 comes out and it seems to do great, you immediately start thinking, okay, it's got great reception, record-breaking sales. That means Battlefield 1's probably going to do what's next, which would be World War II. And I can't tell you, as a huge DICE fan at the time, I was so psyched because they showed in World War I that they can really capture the dark, immersive, brutal, graphic, sad, and really hard parts of war they included. And I was like, yes, that means they're going to go hard in World War II, and it's going to be like the Saving Private Ryan of video games. Call of Duty at the time had just come out. You know, it was good. I just don't really love Call of Duty's kind of arcadey shooter style mixed with realistic settings.
Being able to just do this type of stuff, wallbang.
I feel like it was much more suited for Battlefield's combat style and just its ability to capture what it realistically felt like in World War II. I had so much hope that Battlefield was going to do World War II so well, but I was wrong.
What the fuck is this?
As you can see, it was a very controversial launch trailer, and not a lot of people liked it. It has a dislike ratio similar to Justin Bieber's Baby. None of this looks or feels like World War II. It looks like Fallout 3 raiders going into a battle of a post-apocalyptic 1940s world, like kind of. Now, let's talk about playing Battlefield 5. Let me start off by saying it's kind of hard to get into Battlefield 5. And I actually don't even mean like, oh, it's not going to be your cup of tea, like kind of it's hard to get into Battlefield 5. I mean, it's literally hard to start playing Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 is published by EA, and if you're unfamiliar with them, they're the literal Satan of the video game industry. Origin, your EA Games launcher, basically the f***boy version of Steam. It sucked, and you knew it, and that's why you scrapped it. Fun fact about Origin real quick, a little personal story. Origin is the only platform, even outside of gaming, that I've actually been hacked into by Russians and gotten my credit card information stolen. I'm glad EA, with the billions of dollars they've sucked from us, have our cybersecurity top of mind. So they replaced Origin with a new games launcher called EA Desktop.
Very sexy name, by the way. And somehow this thing is even worse. This is what you play Battlefield 5 through. First of all, I open this atrocious wannabe modern designed app and I'm lost. I'm just trying to find my games. Where is it? Where do I buy games from? What are these icons? What do these icons mean? What do they mean? So we find it on EA Desktop and we click the play button and Battlefield 5 launches. The game starts up, you play the intro mission, looks really cool. You set up your graphics settings, your key bindings, all that jazz. And then boom, you're at the main menu. I want to play with my friends. All right, where's my friend? He says he's online, but it's not showing up.
It doesn't say you're online though.
All right, let me restart the game. I restart my game and the intro mission plays again. And I can't skip it. I've been playing games for long enough to know that something is wrong. Oh, and I noticed that all my video settings, FOV, sensitivities, and key bindings have all been reset. And you guessed it, I'm angry. Don't worry, there's a simple fix. You can watch a 6-minute video on YouTube about how to disengage your firewall so it lets Battlefield 5 save a certain file. Easy as pie. Fix that issue, get into the game. My friend's still not online. So I restart my computer, and for the sake of not losing my I have him do the same. Turn our computers back on, load up the game, get into the game, and guess what? It works. We can both see each other, we're both online. Awesome. Join recommended. Get into a recommended game.
I'm ready.
Loading screen, another loading screen, and there's 3 people in here. All right.
I hate this game.
So we exit out, loading screen, menu, all my image-based assets are missing. Why? I don't know, bugs. I go to multiplayer, advanced search, okay, there's a conquest game with 64 players, I enter it with my friend. 3 full minutes later, we are loading in, baby. Black screen, loading screen, and we're in the game. Spawn on my teammate, and he's in combat. We're brought all the way back out, and try to spawn on him again, and he's still in combat, so we get spawned all the way back out, all right? Well, I'm just gonna go spawn 3 miles away at my base, do that, and we're in the video game Battlefield 5. Alright, so where's the enemy? Where's the enemy? And at this point you realize playing Conquest in Battlefield is a domination style mode on a large battlefield with 64 players, except the boundaries are the size of Jacksonville, Florida. Your enemy is capping a flag miles away, and your squad mate is shopping at Publix. Also, I'm lagging and rubber banding like crazy, and every time I stop my character, he still shifts another 2 feet. So I back out, another loading screen. We're at the main menu, none of my assets are still there. I didn't have to play the intro mission, my friend's still online, we're still in a party. Let's go find a game that works. Breakthrough, 36 ping, 64 players, join, queue, black loading screen, real loading screen, spawn in. This seems action-packed, hell yes. Bro, let's do this. I don't know, man. I just don't know. So I actually have a ton more I could unload to you about just getting the physical game to work correctly. But I've had enough of that. I actually want to talk about how the game is. So you might be astounded when I say this. I actually enjoy Battlefield 5. Kind of a lot.
I'll try it. Yes! 13.
Underneath all this stupid, broken, controversial, dumb bullshit is a really solid game that is beautiful, rich, and an exciting first-person shooter. Battlefield 5 still has that classic, endearing charm that Battlefield games come with baked into its DNA. There's still crazy scenes of battle, tanks rolling in, planes flying above you, just freaking bombing the crap out of places, mortar strikes, enemy gunfire flying all over the place, people dying around you. It's just glorious. The iconic sound design is still there. Freaking guns sound deadly and amazing.
This isn't Burger King, man. You can't have it your way. Oh, except for that one. Ordered it. No pickles. Keep the onions on.
Getting a headshot is still debatably the best sound in gaming history, especially when you factor in bullet drop and getting a snipe from a mile away.
Oh my gosh.
Also, quick note on sniping. Man, you can use an anti-material gun on a person, and it feels like you're punching them in the face with a bullet.
There's so many players.
Battlefield 5 gives you so many options to engage in battle. Driving in with a Jeep, sneaking around the enemy from behind, and like knifing a lot of people.
Jeez.
Or just straight up running into the Hornet's nest with a friggin' bayonet on the
Sector
end.
secured! No, Jacobs! Get up! Get up!
Battlefield gives you enough space and pathways on the map for you to maneuver around the enemy and attack from behind.
There's a guy right next to us, man. I got him.
And this is such an awesome part of Battlefield games, I feel like, is so many people are occupied doing one part of the battle, and you can kind of shift position over to them, and if you pull it off, you can get a ton of kills that end up like totally turning the tide of battle.
Yes.
Totally turn the tide of battle. The map changes over time. There's freaking like storms that blow in. There's buildings that get
so
destroyed.
intense
There's
right now.
snow.
Holy
There's
shit.
just weather effects. Some maps are underground while some fight over an open field. Some maps are night. Some maps are day. What I really love about Battlefield, and this is especially prevalent in Battlefield 5, prevalent, whatever. I feel like teaming with your friends is like at the top priority of gameplay. It really turns Battlefield 5, a multiplayer online battle, into a co-op online battle. You're constantly encouraged to spawn with your teammates. They can revive you. They can give you ammo based on their role. They can give you health. You make a much more effective force sticking together. And what's so cool is you know that the other enemy team is doing the exact same thing. Everybody has squads of up to 4 people, and you can all just have each other's backs. Battlefield 5 has also made some really cool innovations. For instance, you can pull ammo off the back of your friend who's a support role instead of having to get their attention and get them to throw ammo at you. You can also slide on your butt, you can crouch slide, you can kind of lay on your back. There's a lot of innovations that were made in this game that make it a much more smoother soldier experience. Planes are hard to fly, just like every fucking Battlefield.
Cool.
But once you get the hang of it, it really does add a whole new approach to the battle, and you can rack up a ton of kills if you're good at it. Also, is every friggin' enemy piloted by like real Navy captains or something? Everybody seems to be a pro. They all do the nosedive thing perfectly. Like, I can't... I spawn in, and I'm looking for the ejector seat immediately. Tanks are broken as fuck, but I'll get to that. Weapon progression is pretty satisfying. It takes a while. But once you get them, it really does pay off. For instance, once I got the Thompson, which is the last medic gun, dude, if you don't think I did feel like Tom Hanks, friggin' shooting people that are running out of a bunker with a hip fire. Oh! Weapon animations are also freaking stellar as usual. You can feel every magazine being pressed down into the... you can feel every bullet being pressed down into the magazine every time your guy reloads his gun. The reload animations for the revolver are freaking sick. Speaking of revolvers, sidearms, like any pistols, are also really effective in this game. I love when a good sidearm is actually not useless. The music is great. It's Battlefield music. It's nothing really stood out. It wasn't like the Battlefield 3 soundtrack, but it is definitely fitting for the World War II setting. But yeah, just overall, I cannot give enough credit to the Battlefield 2 freaking sound design. Battlefield 2, Battlefield 5, World War II, sound design. It's amazing. I think the only like part that I like, but it was almost too real, is the death sounds, the screaming.
Okay, that was the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
So why rag so hard on Battlefield 5 if at its core I think it's a great game?
Maybe you should shut up.
Well, mainly because I haven't mentioned that there is still a lot of issues when it comes to being in game. And I'll start by naming a few. Tanks. Tanks are broken as fuck. It's not even that tanks are super broken themselves, but the counter for them is so weak and minuscule,
Nailed it.
it's nearly impossible for one infantryman to actually put a dent in a tank. They can heal, they have a machine gun, a missile launcher, they sometimes have a flamethrower. Only the assault class has enough gadgets to actually put a dent in a tank. And what do you have to begin with? A rocket launcher. That does how much damage? 22 out of 100. How many rockets do you... Jeez, I'm asking way too many questions. You have a rocket launcher that does 22 damage out of 100 to a tank, and you have 2 rockets to begin with. You hit this thing twice, it's only done 44 damage. You can't even kill one in one life unless you go get resupplied. This leads to multiple players being like 50-0 because they're using tanks, usually from a far distance, and just shooting into a battle, and you're just getting destroyed by what seems like artillery fire.
That's the most fun you can have in a game.
It also takes forever for you to get guns that you want unlocked in this game. For whatever reason, they put the M1 Garand, which is like the classic World War II gun, right in the front, and you get to use that right away. But they put the second most used, or common World War II gun, the Thompson, as the last gun of the least overpowered class, the Medic, where you have to use SMGs. Also, the UI is so f***ing bad in this game that you don't even know, you probably don't know, I didn't know, all 20 levels of leveling to get this gun. You can purchase guns for certain
You
classes.
select the bolt action carbine tab.
You can't even access those guns, by the way, until you back all the way out to the main menu, go to the armory, purchase the gun if you have the credits available. Then you can use them in game after going all the way back into the game, going to the loading screen, going through the second loading screen, getting back into the game, spawning into the game, and hoping that it also didn't glitch or bug out to where it actually registers that you bought the gun. Because I've had it where it doesn't register. And that was when I unlocked the Thompson, by the way, which took me f***ing like, I think 30 hours to unlock. The amount of times that you'll enter a game that's like 64 players and get into the game and then the game instantly ends.
What? I like that game.
And then half the lobby leaves, and so you're basically in a 32 player game. Oh my gosh, it's just perfect timing, man. Leveling up takes forever, but you can do assignments to unlock certain parts of your gun, and you can also get some bonus XP out of it. But of course, a huge problem with that is if you want to assign your assignments to yourself in order to complete, you have to back out once again to the main menu, go to your assignments, and then assign them there. And you can only track 4 at a time, even if you have 20 available. Why? I don't know, it's more inconvenient and will upset you because that's clearly what this game's trying to do. The pricing for stuff in the store doesn't even make sense either.
Here's a pistol for 300. Let's say I wanted to change my haircut though from a slick part to a high cut part. It's only 6,900 points.
Who's f***ing running this store? Tom Ford? Here's just some like rapid fire problems real quick. There's a bug where bullet kills or knives don't make a sound. There's a bug that still hasn't been fixed that if you use a 6x scope, your bullets don't work. When you're in the main menu, players must click through the seemingly endless amount of menus to navigate. It's a terrible UI, once again. Sometimes vaulting just doesn't work. Huge one, auto balancing does not exist. There's constantly matches with one team crushing another or one team having far too many players. There's horrible netcode issues, instances of players being shot despite running behind cover. In the armory screen, shipment items don't display correctly and sometimes don't display at all. And there are no rewards given out for being the MVP squad, which I'm usually in because me and my bros freaking own at Battlefield 5. And EA might say back to that, well, what are your solutions for these problems? And I'd say to that,
I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
well, not the blind part, but really, it's pretty obvious what the problems are and what the solutions are, which is honestly kind of like just to do the opposite of what I'm saying the problem is. You know, you have millions of dollars behind this game. I would expect that the team would at least be able to make a few updates that just change the fluidity of the game. A lot of this stuff is just like janky. It's just janky, clunky, bad UI. That's what I don't like about a lot of DICE things, or not even DICE, I should say EA. It's a lot of pretty looking stuff, but man, dude, it's just cumbersome and inefficient when you could really fix these things by not complicating shit. And with that, I'll just say EA and DICE, damn it, just pay attention to your audience when developing your next Battlefield title. Listen to the problems you're running into. Lose the against the grain attitude that's so rebellious and seems to like just be constantly fighting with your own gamers. Sharpen up your next game and make it so damn good and undeniable that it can be like Battlefield 3 when it launched and just blow our minds and we can just toss our money at you. We want to love your game and we want to make you a lot of money. So just listen. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know this is a long one. It's kind of a negative one too. I really appreciate all the kind and positive comments I've been getting about my videos. And I just wanted to thank you guys for watching and expect a lot more to come. Thank you all for watching. It really means a lot that you did. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll catch you in the next one.